Okay, it's part 2 of Pick My Poison March, and of course people decided to go with Ready to Rumble. Ironically, I actually kind of enjoy this movie. It's just stupid and over the top enough to actually make it kind of enjoyable, which is weird. Now, most people kind of know this one. This is one where it's David Arquette and James Caan's kid. Steve? Let me double check that. And Scott Caan. I was close with Steve. So David Arquette and Scott Caan are wrestling marks for Oliver Platt's Jimmy King. You know, he gets screwed out of that title, they get pissed. Get involved in the cars, and then believe fate is speaking to them. And the voice of divine wisdom tells them that they need to help Jimmy King become WCW champion again. Now, that is actually a pretty epic storyline right there. I mean, you go from two smarks who watch their idol get screwed out of a title, and then kind of go on like a minor tear to get him back into wrestling shape, get him back into the ring, and have him win the title. In what? A 3-tiered cage match. That is just... And the fact they used that cage. I thought they only used it once in a pay-per-view. No. I had to look this up. Because I found out they used that cage twice. It was used at Slamboree, which is when Jarrett beat DDP and David Arquette. And it was also used on Nitro. I think that's absolutely bizarre. Now, almost everyone does remember the aftermath of this movie being David Arquette holding the title. I was reading an interview with Vince Russo, and he mentioned how people still ragging him about that storyline. Now, think about how successful that storyline actually was. It happened in what? The year 2000? In the year 2000. So a decade later, we still talk about that. You know, and this movie is chock full of wrestlers. I had to actually find the list because I didn't think it was that many. DDP, main villain. Goldberg, Sting, Bam Bam Bigelow, Savage, Booker T, Sid Vicious, Juventud Guerrera, Kurt Hennig, rest in peace. Disco Inferno, Billy Kidman, Conan, Chris Canyon, who was also the stunt double for Oliver Platt, Rey Mysterio Jr., Perry Saturn, Prince Iaukea, Van Hammer, Gorgeous George, Sugar Shane Helms, we now know as a Hurricane, who is the stunt double for David Arquette, Michael Buffer, Mean Gene Okerlund, Tony Schiavone, Iron Mike Tenay, Charles Robertson, Billy Silverman, and pretty much like half of the Nitro girls at the time. Man, it was almost kind of like watching a really overacted episode of Nitro. You know, but Arquette is so... He plays the lovable idiot loser to such a T. You know, having met the guy at a Fangoria a couple of years ago, you know, he is a huge wrestling fan. So he actually, he loved the thought of it, but he hated holding the title. You know how weird that is? To be like, dude, if I hold this belt, I totally devalue it. I think donated the money that he earned to the families of a couple of dead wrestlers. That is absolutely brilliant. You know, that actually is a true wrestling fan getting to live his dream in a movie with other wrestlers. I mean, it's, yeah, you know what, it is stupid. Yeah, lots of it is moronic. The way he acts is like one of the world's dumbest Mark fans ever. Actually, he can't be a Mark because he's dumb. He'd be one of the world's dumbest Mark fans ever. But you know what? Unapologetically, that's what it is. It is just a stupid, fun movie. You know, it's dumb, it's fun, it's... Every wrestling fan who's ever gone to a convention to meet wrestlers has run into a guy that you look at him and you go, you are such an idiot. And then you go, wow, You are David Arquette's character from Ready to Rumble. And plus, Triple Tiers cage match. And it really brought the idea of, you go from the diamond cutter, and you flip it over, and if you've seen the movie, you know what that is. Coming up next, thank you everyone who voted for Roddy Piper's They Live. Coming next week.